Funko went crazy today. As you guys probably know, Funko goes to a bunch of different Comic-Cons throughout the year, and they have exclusives to all of those conventions. And normally what they'll do is announce all of the figures over the course of like 3 to 4 days, but for some reason with New York Comic Con this year, they were announcing like 7 an hour. And so today we're gonna be going through all 60 of the exclusives that they just announced. So let's get started. And so the first two that we've got here is Polly Pigeon as well as the Pizza Rat. And I gotta say, they aren't that interesting because we've gotten one of these every year for like the last 4 years, but it's cool to see them coming back again. It's just too bad they don't have new sculpts or something, because they are literally the exact same figure every single year, just different colors. Then they announced something pretty random. This one here is a Polaroid camera, and I am loving this thing. And now at a quick glance, you might think that this looks nothing like a pop, but if you see on the front there, it actually has a red eye as well as a black one. It's just kind of blending in. And now when it comes to the category for this one, I'm not exactly sure what they're going to be putting this into. Maybe retro toy, but it's not really a toy. I'm not sure. And now, very similar to the Polaroid camera, we are getting something with arms and legs again, but this time it is the Rubik's Cube, something that I saw that was leaked a little while ago, and it is finally happening for New York Comic Con, and I cannot wait to pick one of these up. The one thing that I'm really hoping for this figure, and fingers crossed it happens, is that this is the exact same size as a real Rubik's Cube. That would be sick. Now, this next character had a soda that came out a little while ago, but now it's finally getting a pop. And this one here is KABOOM from KABOOM cereal. It's a pretty great one. I'm especially loving how the cereal in the bowl is actually the same shape as KABOOM cereal. You can see it's got some smiles on it, as well as stars on the inside, and I believe those were marshmallows? I don't know, I haven't had this cereal before, but I remember seeing photos, and I believe the stars were marshmallows. I'd have to check. But either way, this figure looks amazing, and I will definitely be getting it for my Ad Icon collection. I like to pick up the new ones as they release. And now, everybody, this next one that we've got here is one of my favorites for the convention. I will say this one is very nice. We've got Borat. Oh, it's great. And now I did want to point this out because I found it kind of interesting. They're not just calling this one Borat, they're calling it Borat with flag and suit, which means there's probably more Borat figures coming. So if you want to get the entire set, I definitely recommend picking up this one quickly, because I feel like as soon as they announce another figure for this set, the original one is probably going to shoot up a little bit. Now, Notorious B.I.G. is going to be getting another figure for New York Comic Con as well, but it's not like a normal one. It's actually pretty crazy what they did here. It's him wearing a completely gold suit as well as a gold fedora. And it seems like from the glam shot here, it's going to be a completely metallic, possibly chrome. I'm leaning more towards metallic though, because chrome looks a little bit different when they do the glam shots, but either way, it's going to look really sick in person. Oh, and I just noticed now he even has his hands up showing the gold rings. That is some nice attention to detail. And now we've got our first Star Wars announcement of the con, and this one here is definitely a must for me. It is Attack of the Clones Anakin Skywalker, and he's got his attack stance where he's holding 2 lightsabers in his hands, and then you can even see his hair has so much detail on it. I need this thing. Especially because we don't get Anakin pops very often, so to get one that looks as good as this, it's chef's kiss. Oh, and then the next Star Wars Funko Pop that they announced was this one from Andor, and I know it looks nothing like a pop. I guess it's because it's a droid, it's going to be a little bit different, but if you look closely, the circle, which is probably like the camera or whatever they use to see, whatever the droid uses to see, is actually the shape of a pop eye. It's just one single one, so it's a little bit weird. Oh, and I didn't tell you guys what the name of the droid is. B2EMO. Huh. Then after Star Wars, they announced The Simpsons, and these two here are some pretty good ones. We are getting Jimbo Jones as well as Kearney, and I definitely need both of these guys. For one, they would look great next to Nelson, but then also I'm trying to get every single Simpsons Funko Pop ever, and if I get these two, I am up to date. It would be great to have them in the collection. Oh, and Funko, if you could make a Dolph, that would be great. And then in the middle of all of these crazy figures, they decided to announce Clarabelle Cow, and there's nothing against her. It's probably going to be in the Disney Classics line, so I'm definitely going to be grabbing it. It's just kind of funny that she's just like by herself at New York Comic Con. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not dogging on this one. I actually think Funko did a really great job, and it's nice to have a Clarabelle Cow Funko Pop, because before this, all we had was a soda, which was nice, but it wasn't as cool as this. Oh, right, then I forgot about this one. There was another Disney exclusive that I totally passed by, because this was that hour where they announced like 7 or 8 different things at once, and I didn't really get to get a good look at it here. This one is Professor Owl, who only had a soda for a little while and is now finally getting a pop over at New York Comic Con. And I mean, look at him, guys. Funko did an amazing job on this pop. I am definitely going to be getting him. And then after that, I believe we got the first ever Pixar short to get a Funko Pop, because they did them a little while ago where they made their kind of like own line of characters where they looked exactly exactly like they did in the shorts, but then they came up with this one here from Kitbull, where it is, what is the name again? Oh yeah, Kit and Doggy, which I think look really great, and I gotta watch the short again now that they've made this one, and I'm hoping that Funko does make more of these in the future. And when I saw that Funko announced this one, there was one that I really wanted. It was the old man who played chess. I forget the name of the short, but that was one of my favorites, and I know that they did a bunch of minis a little while ago, and he wasn't even one of those, so to get something Funko related would be nice. Jerry's Game, that's what it was. Then after the Pixar short, Funko announced another Pixar figure, which is Merida with bow and arrows, probably to go in the Ultimate Disney Princess collection, I would think so. And I gotta say, they did a really great job on this one with her hair kind of like blowing in the wind, and if you look closely, the bow actually has a little bit of detailing on it. There's also going to be a brand new Loungefly and Pop bundle. With this one here being from The Nightmare Before Christmas, we're getting a kind of like glitter clear Zero, as well as the backpack of Jack with Zero on the front. And if you guys are curious, this entire bundle is going to be limited to 3,000 pieces. It's funny, I'm just flipping through these one at a time, and I thought that the Disney stuff ended, but it looks like we have another one here. It is Roger Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and they actually made, kind of funny enough, a soda of this one a little while ago, and now they're finally making the pop, where he's got like lipstick all over him, and he looks a little bit, I don't know what the word would be, relaxed? Let's go with that. And now that we've got this one completely updated, I would love to get the rest of the set updated, or maybe at least a Jessica Rabbit, because she's going to look completely different compared to this one. Like, he's going to look a lot better than she does, because that one came out in like 2012 or 2011, sometime around then. And Funko has definitely started to add a lot more detail to their figures since, so if you could maybe do it for an anniversary, hey, I'd love to see it. And now we've got our first pop town of the con, and this one here is Smee with Skull Rock, and I am loving the amount of detail in this thing, and I really want to see what it looks like inside of the boat, because I feel like you'll be able to see him with his sandals on, and then his little legs sticking down, and then the Skull Rock. I mean, that is something that I've never seen before with a pop. And I'm especially enjoying the little bit of water they put around Skull Rock, and it's too bad that they didn't put that around Smee as well to kind of like keep the continuity going, but whatever, it still looks amazing. Oh, right, then we've got Free Guy, and this one is a really great one. He's got the broken nose as well as the broken glasses, and I remember a long time ago, maybe about 7 or 8 months ago now, right when the movie first released, there was somebody in Funko's chat asking if they could get a Free Guy Funko Pop, and then I believe it was Ashley or Hillary, somebody that works over at Funko, said they would pass it along, and hey, I guess it made it. Then Funko took a bit of a break from Pops and started to announce a bunch of Funko sodas, with this one here being the first 3-liter one for the con, and it is Maleficent as the dragon, and it looks like the chase is her with like flames as well as glitter all over. It's pretty amazing. And I believe that this might be one of the only times that we've actually talked about 3-liter sodas on the channel. So if you guys haven't seen these before, Funko has started to make massive ones, and I actually kind of like predicted this a little while ago by saying Funko should make 2-liter ones, and they didn't call it that, they actually called it 3-liter ones, which still look amazing, and they're about like 7 or 8 inches tall, and they come in like a giant pop bottle. And so if I'm able to purchase one of these when I go to the con, I will definitely be picking them up, and I'm hoping I can get 2 of each to try to get that chase and common, but I believe it's limited to 1 per person, so I'll try my best. And then after Maleficent, they did also announce another 3-liter soda, which was Juggernaut. And this one looks amazing, especially that chase where his mask is like completely cut on the side and you can see the rest of his face. And so this one, very similar to the Maleficent, I'm going to be trying to get at least the chase in common. Fingers crossed that can happen. Then in terms of normal size sodas, we got a couple different ones here with Phoenix, and the chase is actually just a red suit instead of the normal green suit. Then we got Shuri with a glow-in-the-dark chase. After that, we got Jon Stewart, one of the Green Lanterns, and he's got a glow-in-the-dark chase, as well as a Blacklight Grape Ape, which looks pretty nice. And then the last soda that was announced was Eric Draven from The Crow. And this one honestly isn't that different. Maybe it's... what is going on here? Actually, it looks almost the exact same. Oh no, if you look closely, there's a crow on his arm. Okay, that makes sense. But I gotta say though, that is definitely hard to see in the glam shot, but a pretty unique chase. Now let's get into some Marvel Pops, where we have a couple different ones here. And the first one is the Statue of Liberty from No Way Home. Not my first choice, but I do still really like how it turned out. And funny enough, this is actually the second Statue of Liberty to get a Funko Pop. The first one was Freddie Funko as the Statue of Liberty, and now this. Then we got a brand new one from the short series I Am Groot, and this one looks pretty interesting. I haven't watched it yet, but I know my brother Noah has, and it looks like maybe he's holding like alien nesting dolls and then wearing a watch on his head. Something kind of interesting going on here. Oh, and I didn't even notice that he's also wearing pajamas. Pretty cute. And then we've got this one here from Secret Invasion, and I don't exactly know if it's a spoiler or not, so if it is, I apologize, but it's Nick Fury, and I mean, they announced it and showed it off to everybody, so I don't think it's going to be, but this definitely looks like an interesting one. Him with the beard as well as the cut on his eye, and then it looks like they even gave him like an X in the middle of his white eye. Kind of weird. And so as you guys can probably tell, I don't know much about this one because Secret Invasion hasn't released yet, but I do think it looks pretty nice, and if I see it, I'll probably pick it up. Then after Marvel, we got a brand new Parks and Rec pop, and this one here is Mona Lisa, and if I'm going to be honest, I don't actually know much about the show. I've never seen Parks and Rec, but it does look like a pretty interesting one. Her holding money? I don't really know what's going on here. And then after that one, we got a brand new Office figure, and this one totally makes sense because it is Kelly in one of her Halloween costumes, and I believe she was supposed to be, I want to say, Willy Wonka? I think so. I mean, it definitely looks like she's a mix of Willy Wonka as well as an Oompa Loompa. I just can't tell. It's been a while since I've seen this episode. I'll probably have to rewatch it. Uthrid? I'm not exactly sure, but this one here is from The Last Kingdom. It's another television show that I haven't seen, and I believe it's pronounced, let me try again, Uhtred? Maybe? Someone correct me in the comments. And I'm noticing a lot of people are saying that this figure looks pretty nice, so I'm guessing it's accurate to the character in the show. I'm just not exactly sure. Uthrid? I'll stop. Anyways, let's get into the next figure here, which is Kayla from Jurassic World Dominion, who actually had a pretty big part in the movie, and I'm surprised she didn't have a figure that came out in the regular release. But at least we're getting one now, and I gotta say that this figure looks very accurate to the character in the movie, and I really like that she's holding the taser in her hand, kinda unique. Then we've got two brand new Harry Potter figures, with the first one here being Harry Potter with Gryffindor sword and Basilisk Fang. There's a lot going on here. And I also really enjoy how it looks like he's looking down at the Basilisk Fang, like he's not staring forward, and that doesn't happen very often with Pops, so it's nice to see it here. And then we've got the one that I'm definitely going to be picking up if I can find it, Neville Longbottom with Pixies. I love how it looks like he's floating and then they're picking him up by his ears. It's pretty unique. Especially because we haven't got a Neville pop in a while, so this is a perfect way to get a brand new one. And now, guys, we've got a bunch of DC figures, with the first one here being Superman Red, which actually looks really sick. I'm just sad that this one doesn't glow in the dark, because I feel like with a character being one color like this, it would have been perfect. And then we've got a brand new classic Aquaman, and it looks like he's actually underwater, kind of like propelling through it with the way his hair is kind of blowing back. I think that looks amazing. Then after that one, we've got, who is this one here? Star Sapphire. I believe a brand new character we've never seen before on a pop. She looks pretty nice. And one thing that I really enjoy is the way they made it look like her fist almost has like a trail following behind it. It's pretty neat. And then we've got this one here, the Emperor Joker, which must be from some comic book that I don't exactly know. But the face on this thing looks amazing, almost like we took it directly out of a comic book. And then I also really like how he's got like the staff in his hand with the Harley Quinn head. It's pretty neat. Oh, and then the crown as well as the suits on the suit really tie the whole thing together. And then after that, they decided to do a couple animation figures, with the first one here just being a random Looney Tunes one, which I am not opposed to. I always like getting brand new Looney Tunes ones. And this one here is the Black Knight Yosemite Sam. Not the Black Knight that you guys are probably thinking of, but still a pretty funny one. And then the next animation one that we got is maybe one of my favorites from the convention. I mean, it's a show that Noah and I used to watch all the time when we were younger, and it is from Ben 10, and it's Swamp Fire. This is the first time we've ever got a Ben 10 Funko Pop, so if you're thinking of collecting the entire line, I definitely recommend getting this one before they announce the rest of them, because I'm sure it's gonna happen. Because if you've ever seen the show, there are so many different characters that they could do, and it's not just gonna be Swamp Fire. Then we've got another character from Ted Lasso, and this one here is Coach Beard, and I'm really enjoying the pants as well as the hula hoop on this thing, and I think this might actually be the first ever Funko Pop hula hooping, or like looking like it's hula hooping in action. It's pretty unique. I feel like you guys have been hearing me say unique a lot today, and that's because a lot of these figures are going above and beyond what they normally do in Funko. I'm really enjoying that. Then the next figure that we got is this one here, Gloomy the Naughty Grizzly, and there was one that was exclusive to Hot Topic a little while ago, and that one had a chase where it was like the black and red instead of the normal pink and brown, and this one I actually have a figure of, so I might want to grab this one. I was never able to get the original, but this could be a fun one to get. And if you guys are curious, it doesn't seem like this is going to be a chase version. They're just going to be sold separately at the con. And if I'm going to be going for one of them, I'm probably going to be going for the Flocked Bloody version. And now for the next announcement, Funko went back to Retro Toys and announced Sergeant Slaughter, which is definitely an interesting one. And also, I remember the name Sergeant Slaughter from something else. I just don't know what. Like, maybe I'm just thinking of this character here, but I feel like it's something from like WWE or something like that. And now we've got another amazing one, something that I am 1000% going to be needing for my collection because I did get the original one that released a little while ago, and this one here is Steve with his handy dandy notebook. And I mean, come on guys, this thing is amazing. He's got the green crayon, he's got the green shirt on. I love it, especially with them bringing back Blue's Clues a little bit, with it being, I believe, was it their 20th or 25th anniversary? Something like that, and then they had all three of them doing videos together. It really was special. And this was a show that I watched all the time when I was younger, so whenever they make a Blue's Clues figure, I am definitely going to be picking it up. And then everybody, after Blue's Clues, they announced another figure that I'm going to be needing for my collection because I've been actually getting this entire set as it's been releasing. I got the first three, and now I'm going to need these two because we finally got Mikey as Yellow Ranger and then Raphael as the red one. And so if I'm able to get these two, I officially have all four of the turtles as well as Shredder, and they're going to look amazing together. Now, before we get into the next figures, I do want to let you guys know that a lot of them are anime, and I don't actually know much about them, so I'm going to be naming them, talking about the appearance of them, and then that's about it. So this first one that we've got here is Yu-Gi-Oh's 5-headed dragon, which looks pretty sick. It really reminds me of Tiamat that came out for Dungeons & Dragons a little while ago, and then that's pretty much all I've got. But something I did notice is that it looks like pretty much every single one of these is almost like a different element. Maybe that's what it is. And then after that, we've got a brand new Jujutsu Kaisen figure. This is Itadori with glasses, and I feel like we've gotten like 10 of him already, but this one is pretty unique. I like it. Then we've got a 2-pack coming in from Uran High School Host Club, and this one, I don't know much about at all. Let me see. We've got Kaoru as well as Hikaru. I believe that's their names. I was just about to say something, but then I read a comment. Anyone who says this is the same pop has never watched the anime, and it shows, so I'm not even going to comment about it. Then we've got 2 brand new figures coming in from Dragon Ball Super, with there being Ultra Instinct Goku as well as Goku Ultra Instinct. Kind of funny, they have very similar names, but I do really like both of them. And you know what, now that I'm looking at it here, I think the heads are the exact same, they just have slightly different colors, and then the flames in the back are maybe the same. I don't know, the bodies is where they're definitely different, and I really do enjoy both. And then for another Dragon Ball pop, they announced this one here, Cell's second form, which I thought looked kind of funny because I don't know what's going on the end of his tail there, and then he also has like a weird smirk going on. It kind of reminds me of like Claymation a little bit, but I think it's pretty fun. It looks good, I don't know. Okay, now I'm reading the comments and it seems like there's a lot going on with this one. Somebody explain it in the comment section below, but please explain it, PG. And then we've got one that my brother was pretty excited about. This here is Luffy with Going Merry, and I gotta say, him standing on top of this thing is a perfect way to do it. The One Piece is real! The only thing that I think this figure is missing is Luffy actually wearing his hat, or it would have been really cool if he was like holding it or something in the wind. That would have made it amazing. And now we are getting into some more stuff that I can talk about because we've got a brand new Stranger Things and Dungeons & Dragons 2-pack of Vecna and Vecna, and I am loving the two of these together. And I did see that they announced a normal Vecna without the Dungeons & Dragons Vecna, and I'm probably just going to be getting this 2-pack instead of that one. Because the original one was apparently supposed to come with an abandoned house, and it didn't, so I don't know. I'm probably just going to be going with this one because I think it's a pretty funny 2-pack. I'm just not really enjoying the Funko version of Vecna. It looks like a meatball. But here's the thing, I'm still going to be buying it, so I can't complain too much. And then the last two things that they announced was the disguise pop mask for Frankenstein, as well as this t-shirt here, the Frightmare on Fun Street, which I am definitely going to be trying to get. Because I am really enjoying how Freddy looks in the back there as a vampire, and then it also has New York Comic Con 2022 at the bottom. It's pretty neat. And so there you go, guys. That is every single one of the exclusives. But before you get out of here, if you guys want to check out where they're going to be shared with outside of the con, here's the list. And there is a lot of different stores for the US, and I noticed that Chalice is actually going to be getting their first ever exclusive, which is pretty neat. And if you guys are curious about any of these, I don't think there's anything too crazy. Like Toy Tokyo is a website, so is Chalice, and then Books A Million, of course, has the physical stores. And then besides that, Entertainment Earth is also only a website. Oh, I guess I can mention Reed Pop means it's only going to be at New York Comic Con at the merch booth outside of Funko's booth. So if you don't get Lottery, you can still get those two there, the Pigeon as well as the Pizza Rat. Oh, and then they also shared some of the international lists as well. So we've got Canada as well as United Kingdom and Europe, and then we've got Chile as well as Peru, and then that's all they showed. And I'm noticing that there's a lot of people confused about where they're going to be going for Mexico. I'm not exactly sure. So fingers crossed they do show off that one soon. And anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you want to see more from me in the future, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that. But this has been an episode of Top Pops, Popsters. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.
Singing low while I pop a bottle off of your chain swinging, clang clang, and it costs a lot. Bitch, I'm always at the guala, yeah, and you are not badass beat. Keep on going till you hit the spot. Whoa.